Christian was sitting there in the corner of the room on a small stool, just watching you the entire time.
And then in the background, you've got like playing out of speakers, like on repeat. It could have been better. 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 Get me out of this fucking hellhole.
Yeah. It could have been a lot better.
Bastard.
I haven't watched the Rocky movies in a while. I need to watch those again.
Yeah, they are.
Watch one.
That's it.
Watch one. I'm bothered with the others. I know I'm now sounding like I got a profound liking for the original Rocky movie when I went to the Stallone Arnie 6-movie marathon.
Oh yeah, in the Prince Charles cinema.
Yeah. And I hadn't watched one in such a long time, but seeing it in the cinema made me go, "This is actually a really good film." And the rest of the movies make no sense because he's already old and past it. That's the point.
Yeah.
So to have him being like the champion, I mean, 2 I can kind of get behind.
Yeah, 2 was all right.
2's like the week after, so it's like that's fine.
5 masterpiece.
The thing is, 1 is like, he fights to a draw, as in he manages to make it to the end.
Yeah.
But I think he still loses. It's just the fact he makes it all the way through.
Well, he loses technically, and that's why Apollo Creed's pissed off because he didn't win, and that's why he
knocked him out.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, "You're not the true champion," and then it's the whole it's really funny because there's a funny line in it. It's like, "Oh yeah, never again." They say it right at the end of the film. It's like, "Oh yeah, do you want to fight again?" No, I don't want to fight again. And then it's like the whole thing about them being forced to, fight a rematch, and then obviously Rocky winning. But then it's like 3 and 4 all of the others just shouldn't have happened because he's already old and past it.
Is fine.
Balboa should have just been Rocky 2.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just stop it at Rocky 1, wait 20 years, and then do Rocky Balboa, and then be like, "Oh, what's he been doing in between all this? Street fighting."
He opened a deli. That's it.
Yeah, chasing Tommy Gunn.
He's been doing Rambo.
Yeah, because he likes to roll around in the jungle.
Yeah, actually, I still haven't seen like the new Rambo. Like, it wasn't even the one that I remember watching around yours, Harry, where he just completely like turns people into blancmange. There's another one after that now.
With the 50 kill. That's one of the most horrible scenes in a film. I think that was the last. For me, I'm not watching anymore because I couldn't stomach much more violence, and I know that sounds really pathetic.
He turns that giant M6 machine gun on the back of the car onto someone's head at point blank range, and
that was glorious. That was the most recent one's Last Blood, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like him like defending. He's defending a little farm in Texas from like Mexican cartel or something. I have no idea. It looked like that. I haven't seen it, but
so basically a bit like that Arnie movie where he's protecting the town.
Yeah. Where he got the from.
Oh, I even saw that film in the fucking cinema, and I can't remember what it's called. It's got a woman's name in it.
The Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
Because I see the drug dealer of the house, please.
I've got to look it up. It's going to annoy me. But I remember watching it. It's like, oh, fucking hell, it's Arnie being serious and old.
Arnie serious and old can work, but it's got to be the right film.
Yeah, Terminator. I mean, what?
Terminator 2.
Good ball.
Dark Fate.
No.
Derp Fate.
The only way we're going to do, and we're going to watch those movies, is if we watch
Maggie.
it.
That's it. Maggie. It was called Maggie. Yeah, that was actually really weird, but all right. But then I was pissed when I was watching it, so that could be why.
I'll tell you what. I will sit down and watch all the Terminator films for the channel on the literal basis that one of you basically gets a fucking studio.
Does it as well?
Paying me money to do this as a job, and then yes, I will do it.
Well, that's what we've been building up to for the last 5 years, isn't it? but not quite.
Really?
Well, our lives have been interspersed in different directions since then. So it's like, yeah, you've got what you've got, folks. Hello.
I thought we were just a random collection of weirdos on the internet.
Well, yeah, that's generally what most of us.
We're definitely that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. So yeah. Hello everyone. This is a Ramblecast.
Yes. Hello, Nerdaholics. We've got another video. I mean, what's going on here? This is the second video this year already.
Second video in
nothing for 6 months.
Video in like a year.
It's all about hitting while the iron is hot.
That's right, indeed. Yeah. Well, we tend to go through phases where we have like nothing for about 6 months, and then all of a sudden it's like bam, 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 and then that's it for another 6 months. No, hopefully it will be a bit more than that.
Hopefully.
Yeah, there's no real direction to this one, so
it's sporadic Ramblecast.
Indeed.
Oh dear. Right. Well, I think then to start off, let's pick a direction. So
really.
Oh, hang on. We need to probably.
Oh yeah, time lashes crap. Pass it on.
There you go.
Are we doing time lash?
No. I had I still had some of those beers left over that you left the other day, Harry.
Oh,
so I got pretty pissed last night and just went on Twitter. Time lash is crap. Pass it on. Some people found it funny. Others were like, I quite like that one. And it's got Paul Darrow in it. I'm like, I don't care. Paul Darrow.
Paul Darrow don't save that story, no.
No.
I love him. God rest his soul. I think he's amazing, but he's not amazing in that. That story is not amazing. But we'll
journey.
Review that because it's the one last Doctor that we haven't done a review for other than William Hartnell. So
yeah. So that one requires careful attention and notes to completely rip it a new one.
We only had our brief bit of footage for watching Resident Evil. So should we give our thoughts on the new Resident Evil movie?
It does, mate. Trust me. Just to give it the ripping it deserves.
Oh God.
Funny, Daniel. Shout out to you. Daniel was like, "Yeah, you're gonna need your beers at the ready." I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna have a crate full, and it's gonna be, you know what I mean? It's just the only way to do it."
When I can get you both around the living room, I'll get a lot of Fosters in or something. Well, actually, something classy than Fosters, and then we'll binge it.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll binge it and we'll see what happens. Oh.
What are we binging?
Time Lash.
Jack wants to watch Time Lash with us, as in, and we just we rip it apart then, or we could watch it again and then do that, so we could review it and then we could live stream it or some shit.
We need to go around.
What do you reckon, guys? Comments, yay or nay?
Oh.
We'll leave Jack vanilla into it because Jack hasn't seen Time Lash.
No.
He'll get to see how. Well, wait. I don't know. When's the Blu-ray come? I mean, I've got it on DVD, but I mean, when's the Blu-ray coming out for season 22?
Pretty soon, I think. Let's have a look. Season 22 Blu-ray. There is no release date yet. they're just keeping everyone in the air. The BBC have not released a release date yet to retailers for some reason. So they're just sort of keeping people guessing. But probably sometime in June, I'd imagine. Make it so.
Oh God.
Have you started watching season 2 of Picard yet?
No, that was a nice segue, wasn't it? Completely unintentional as well.
I haven't seen episode 3 yet. I know that came out a couple of days ago.
Okay, no, I haven't got around to watching it yet. Part of me really wants to watch it, but also part of me is like, I haven't got enough time.
I haven't even bothered finishing season 1. Let alone going to season 2.
I started watching it because literally on the basis that John Delancey is awesome as Q is enough for me to at least give it a try. And it's kind of like...
Oh, and Guinan.
So far, 3 episodes in, has it disappointed you, Jack?
At this point, I can't honestly say yes. It hasn't disappointed me yet. But my expectations are so low. And without doing spoilers,
it's probably going to be okay. You know what I mean? It's going to be that kind of level of okay.
Again, it's another time travel story.
What kind of time travel story? Is it fictional time? Is it parallel universe?
Q has gone back in time and changed something in 2024, and that has now irreparably changed the future for everyone. So Picard's gone back in time with his crew from Picard season 1 to basically try and fix it. And you kind of see, and we don't know exactly what that change is yet, because again, it's kind of, well, they kind of hinted at it, but I haven't seen the series episode 3 yet, so I don't really know. But
that kind of makes sense to what I've been hearing on the grapevine, that all they've done is they've basically just reset everything that was shit about it in season 1. God, no, he's not really a robot anymore. That didn't actually happen.
Oh, no, it still happened. They mention it once, but they brush it away so quickly, where it's like, no, we're not talking about that, because then we have to acknowledge that season 1 happened.
Right.
But the biggest problem I have so far is
having wet dreams about Data.
Yeah. Oh no, not anymore. No.
Oh, okay, good.
So Brent Spiner is going to be in it apparently in episode 4. So shrug.
What as Data?
I don't know. I haven't seen episode 4. He's in the trailer. He's not got no makeup on or anything, at least in the episode trailer thing that I saw, the sneak peek thing.
Oh, so he might be. What's his name?
Dr. Oaken from Independence Day.
almost, Sean. Mr. Noonien Singh, Professor. That one.
Oh, the creator.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
Dr. Sung, not Dr. Singh.
Dr. Sung.
Dr. Noonan Singh is he's not a doctor, but Noonan Singh is.
That's hard.
Yeah, but so I can't say I'm disappointed because my expectations are low, and at the same time, it's just like you haven't done anything stupid yet. At least not massively stupid.
Well, they still have 6 episodes left to go to make that happen.
They got enough time to mess it up. They really do. But yeah, it's
There's 10 more episodes to come. It's probably going to shit the bed at some point.
So far, my big complaints have been just like stupid, superficial stuff. Like in episode 1, they bring the Borg back again for a brief bit at the beginning, and it's like, it's a Borg ship, but it doesn't look. It's like, oh, that's not a Borg ship because it actually looks like a spaceship rather than a big cube or a big sphere or something.
No, it's not the Borg. Nah.
No, it looks like a big ship that opens up. It's like, no, the Borg don't do that. You're missing the entire point of the Borg. But okay, fine, whatever.
It's like Doctor Who and the Cybermen. The new series just completely missed the point of them altogether, as usual.
Well, this is it.
Let's give them big collars that make them look like Time Lords.
Oh god, that I was guessing that to the point where it's not a thing anymore. As far as I'm concerned,
I've got to the point now where I just like I was obviously we were infuriated about it at the time, and now
Sean, this is where you go. Cue the clip.
Oh my god, we're actually going to edit stuff into these things to make it look professional. Jesus Christ. Have we become that desperate?
We always were that desperate. It's just only the last few videos where I've actually bothered to put shit in like that.
Yeah, so Picard so far season 2 it's not been like super worth watching, so I wouldn't make an effort to watch it. But at the same time, it's not disappointed me yet. But again, expectations are quite low, so do with what you see fit.
Yeah,
it's a bit like Boba Fett, really, wouldn't it?
My expectations for there could be a potential for the second series to work. I was basically had enough by the time the first season finished, and I was like, I felt like they've spent so long trying to deal with the Data problem.
Yeah,
because it is Data is a problem, especially because of Nemesis. Yeah. But the thing is that maybe I was naive to think that they might just ignore it, and then they just made a whole series about it, and I was like, for fuck's sake.
I just couldn't get past the fact that they were fucking it was like Romulans in Twilight, fucking sparkly ears and shit. It was just like
fucking each other.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, what's going on here? What am I watching? This is bollocks. Well, I just have like very little patience anymore. I've discovered if I don't like something in the first 1 or 2 episodes, like, nope, bye, good time, see you later, on to the next thing.
Do you know what? It's because you're getting old, man. We're all getting to that stage where like, my life's too short left. I've got not enough of it left to waste on stuff I don't want to spend time watching.
Yeah.
Then I do watch a lot of shit movies.
Yeah, but you get enjoyment out of watching some of those shit movies.
Yeah, but and also that you don't have a pre-existing idea of how it really should be. Like, you know, with Picard, it was like, well, kind of hoping this is a bit like the Star Trek: The Next Generation, but it wasn't at all. And maybe that's my problem.
Well, that's it. And sometimes the really shit stuff can be very entertaining, like, you know, Sharknado. You know, that's so bad it's just entertaining because of how bad it is. It's
of which we still haven't done 1 and 2. We just went straight from 3 all the way to the end.
Because there's no point. At this point, there's no point in 1 or 2.
1 was like relatively serious in its intent, and then people thought,
No,
wow, this is bollocks.
What are you on about? 1 was ridiculous. In the
Have you?
Of course it was.
Have you seen the others? Have you seen
I've seen 1.
Oh,
I've definitely seen 1 and 2.
Mate, compared to the rest of them, it was like they were actually trying.
Well, I know they get more and more ridiculous, but there was a point where the woman has a chainsaw and flies through the air and cuts the shot like a shark in half.
That's like 3, I think.
In the first movie.
Wait till you get to the fucking one where it's like, Sharknado, it's about time, and it's got fucking Troy in it as like a really angry mum of this like drag queen Merlin dude. It's really fucked up. So yeah.
The thing is, I know you guys have seen the second one because that's how I introduced you guys to Sharknado. Because you were sitting here with Rob, and I could remember Rob, like, his brain was literally melting while he was watching it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I mainly remember that for Kurt Angle being in it in the last 5 minutes as a random firefighter.
Kurt Angle's in it as a random firefighter?
No, I found Sharknado, as in I found it on Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
When it first appeared. And it was only at the same sort of time I was watching Terminators.
Yeah.
The Asylum sequel named after, I don't know how they got away with Terminators because that's so close to the IP, but
okay, like Transmorphers.
But that was the Sharknado was the big one that they were showing a big trailer for every time, and it was like, okay, I've got to watch Sharknado now, like when as soon as it comes on, and we did, and it was ridiculous, but I loved it.
Yeah,
it was so much fun. For a bad movie.
We love Sharknado because it's so bad, it's amazingly good.
It's literally, it's the pinnacle of so bad it's good. And people were like, oh no, it's shit. It's like, that's the point. It's supposed to be shit.
No one wants it to be good.
Yeah.
Except the people who wrote it want it to be good, but it's like, no.
Laughing at, you know, Ian Ziering and Tara Reid trying to be serious and then not really being serious for the rest of the franchise.
Oh, Tara Reid.
It's a far cry from some real absolute shit like fucking Birdemic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Is just unwatchable. So there's a point where there's like something becomes so bad it's unwatchable. It's almost painful. Like I'm physically pained when I sat through it. I haven't done it. I haven't done it to myself. Oh no, the Flux, yeah, I have.
Yeah.
But I didn't do the Empty Child.
Oh no, that's actually an okay episode of Doctor Who. You mean the Timeless
Child? Oh, the thing is, I can barely remember what the thing was called purely because I try my best to just ignore it.
Yeah.
Like Jack said, I'm just doing my best to ignore.
Ignore
it. Move it to the back of your brain.
It's like, oh.
Look, we all did it back in '96 when fucking the doctor turned around and said, "I'm half human." On my mother's side, and everyone went, "Oh, really? Yeah." We'll just ignore, as a fandom, we'll just ignore you said that.
Yeah, exactly.
And Doctor Who retcons a lot of stuff every now and again because there's stuff with like Patrick Troughton talking about how he's human with one heart and everything, which obviously you don't really pay attention to these days.
Someone checks. I was watching it the other day. Someone does check his heartbeat, and he's like, "Oh, no, his heart's all right." Oh, it's in Edge of Destruction. William Hart.
Whoops.
You know, he's going down, and they're like, "Oh, his heartbeat's fine." They don't even mention. But then again, this is before they did the 2 heart thing. So Sorry?
Yeah.
Don't introduce that until John Pertwee, do they? Or,
Yeah, no, it's only introduced in Spirits from Space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of thought.
So,
Well, because the only time he's actually been in a hospital. I mean, he has been in a hospital, but he's in a future hospital, so probably doesn't. I'd probably come across that sort of thing anyway in like Will in Space. But
yeah,
because
that's just like commonplace at that point in time.
by the time it gets to in modern, he's the first time he's in a modern hospital by that standard. That makes sense.
That was set in modern day for that particular period of history. Yeah, it was set when you were supposed to 70.
Well, it depends.
75 instead of 71.
Depends on people's interpretations of the timeline. Is it really 70s? Is it 60s?
But it was still a hangover of the 60s, wasn't it? It just happened to be in colour.
No, I meant, and in terms of there is a unit, the whole unit timeline doesn't make sense because there's 2-3 lines in different in different stories. So in the Abominable Snowmen, they come across Travers, who then says, that's set on a particular date. He then says that was 40 years ago in Web of Fear.
Yeah,
and then that was. 18 months later, it's invasion.
Yeah.
So it gives a very fixed time. But it's all down to interpretation. Did he really mean 40 years ago? Travers was a bit of a dodgery old man. Can you really rely on
hazy
him?
with time?
There's all that kind of stuff. And then it's like, did it happen between 1979 and 1980? Did it all happen in 1 year?
Well, then, it goes back to what we were saying the other day.
Could happen.
But he's like, he's 450 in Tomb of the Cybermen, and then by the time he gets to Tom Baker, he's 756. So you have to take into consideration that between Patrick Troughton and Tom Baker, he's aged 300 years. Or was it just down to the writer's interpretation?
Well, and
so when he gets to Colin Baker, he's 900.
But again, it's kind of if you basically assume that he goes off and has like a little mini adventure every time there's a change of companion before the new one appears, assuming you can have that break in the story, then it's like, you can do those time jumps. But at the same time, it's like...
It's easier to get away with it in the classic series. Because it's all serialized. The stories are kind of stuck in it. I mean, we're not talking from William Hartnell here, because William stories generally for the first 3 seasons are consecutive in the way that they are, the way that it's portrayed. But then again, there's still between seasons. There's no.
Back then there wasn't much gap between the seasons because it was like it was on for like 9 months of the year and then back on again 3 months later. So they just never really. It was relentless.
All you need is an episode where it's like, okay, I've got one companion or 2 companions who both leave, or one of them leaves. Next episode starts, brand new companions being introduced. You can have whatever time frame in between as you like, and that's fine.
Yeah, generally that's where the gaps in where the books come along. If you don't want a particular type of assistant or whatever, if you want a doctor on their own, the only one that you can't do it with, there's 2 doctors actually I can think of where it becomes difficult, and that's Colin Baker and Christopher Eccleston. But then they get round Colin Baker because his storyline is like wibbly wobbly up to the trial of the Time Lord, and then he's got Mel as his other assistant. So they kind of get around it with him. But with Christopher Eccleston's, it's clearly portrayed that he's regenerated in Rose.
Yeah, and almost instant, like he had, like literally just before he got there, because he's already, he's doing the could have been worse, So he's only seen himself then. He hasn't seen himself yet. Yeah.
And then there's an unbroken. There's no point in which he leaves her.
No.
There's no gap. That whole season is like.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Which makes it interesting when you get to Clive, because I actually watched Rose relatively recently, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, because when he's looking at like the pictures of him being at like the JFK assassination and on things where disasters happen, it's like, so he's done all that since regenerating, but it hasn't been that long. You know what I mean?
They could have had Rose with him.
But that was really that was before she sort of knew him for very long, because she wasn't.
Time's relative, Sean.
Oh right, okay, we're going down that road, are we?
Well, no. She's seeing him for the first time.
Yeah.
But there's no reason why she wouldn't have been there, and she wouldn't know it because it's her future.
Yeah, but so
you know what I mean? I know she's not depicted in any pictures, but it's not a far cry to think that could have happened in her future. Does that make sense?
Well, I suppose there is that. I can't remember which episode it is, but when they're talking about the hordes of Genghis Khan couldn't get through that door, and believe me, they've tried. Was that something that they both did together, or was that just him? I can't remember.
That's him saying it, but I don't know if it's ever actually happened.
Right.
That's Rose, Genghis, Christopher Eccleston. He's trying to prove me wrong.
I think it's a reference.
It was just a throwaway line. I think
it's a reference to Marco Polo.
Well,
it may well be, but I don't think they intended it that way. But
well, you might be right actually, because there was like a lot of travelling going on in that episode, like over 7 parts.
Yeah, and it's that I do think they do meet Kublai Khan.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it is a reference to Marco Polo. I mean, I may be wrong, but I distinctly, or it's a reference to the TV movie. To the TV movie, Cushion movie, because there's a point where Ian sets the TARDIS off, and then some army's walking towards the TARDIS, and he's panicking.
Just distracted just then.
Doctor and the Daleks. What? Right.
Yeah, there was just like a big knock, and as soon as you went, someone scared him, he went, boom.
It's the door. I probably didn't close it properly, and the boss has been like,
shut up, Jack. That was kindly.
Oh God.
It was almost like a ghostly apparition.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting it, I don't get scared, but I can be easily made to jump.
Jump scares, ding.
Oh God.
Enough of them in Resident Evil.
Jump scares don't make me jump anymore necessarily. It's kind of like I'm too used
to them. Yeah.
Too used to them now.
Yeah, which is ridiculous to say it, but it's kind of like, look, you guys watch films like Paranormal Activity, so you know the jump scares and you know that they're coming. And it's like you sit there and you watch, it's like, well, it's not really that scary anymore, and you know it's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, looking back on that, the only good one is the first one. After that, it's just like when they go into like explaining everything, and it's part of a witch's coven to get the firstborn son of each family, and then they give them loads of money, and they're looking at all this shit online. It's like, no, the more you explain, the more shit it becomes. It's just like, it was just good when you had no fucking idea what it was, and then it's like, it could be a demon. Okay, and then it just like ends with him taking the piss out of him, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of still preferred the second one.
Well, the second one was all right because it kind of ran. It was interesting because it ran parallel. It was all like, it was slightly behind the timeline, and then it ran parallel to it towards the end because the sister gets involved, and then she gets killed, and then the main girl.
But I also preferred the dad as a character. It was a much better character.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Michael was a fucking idiot. Yeah.
I just never get to grips with the first one because the whole relationship is just unrealistic.
Well, it's
just
almost like
they wouldn't be together. It's just as simple as that. They would not be together.
Probably not.
No, they just wouldn't be together. There's no point in a relationship where it's just like, oh yeah, please don't do that thing. Don't do the thing that you're going to do because it's going to really upset me. And then he goes and does the thing. And it'll just be like, right, that's it. I'm fucking off because you're a prick because you didn't listen to me.
a lot of relationships are like that, though, aren't they? Don't do that. Oh, I did it. Whoops.
Yeah, that's my relationship right there.
No, but I take your point. Like when it
do the thing, Jack. I'm going to do the thing, and don't do that thing, Jack.
At least, you can understand it if it's like, do the washing up. Oh, I didn't do it, but like, don't like get a fucking Ouija board then it clearly isn't a good idea.
Yeah.
And
Or put cameras
All over my
It's
house.
the whole putting the cameras around the house thing, and she's just like, please don't do this, and then he just does it, and then it's just like, no, you're
side,
there's no. At that point, I was just like, this film's lost me because there's no way these two would be together anymore.
but then on the flip side of that,
What was that?
when he finds out that it's actually, oh no, it's not the house that it's following her, and it has been since she was a kid, I'd be like, see you later, love, I'm fucking off. Goodbye.
I don't need
when
this.
the picture gets like cracked.
New, thanks.
Yeah, when there's like a picture of the two of them and it cracks his face.
Yeah.
You're nice, but nah, see ya.
Listen, love, you're a 6, maybe a 7. I'm off. I can pull better.
Yeah, it's not worth getting possessed over / murdered.
No. Yeah, if you're a 9 or a 10,
Getting shut across the room and then stared at for 8 hours.
For 8 hours of the night. Yeah, that's not weird.
no. Oh.
Yeah, fuck those
Yeah.
films.
Shit movie.
Fuck those films. To think I used to be really into them. Nah. Again, I think it's my old age just being like, yeah, this is bollocks.
No, but the thing is, it connected at the time because it felt like, I mean, in my how I interpret it, was it felt like Most Haunted.
Yeah.
So it
And
was
I think-
actually like it done in such a way that it was plausible.
Well, it was
way
in that
it
kind of
was
film. It was in that film footage phase, found footage phase of horror movies, and it was actually the sort of the scary part of it was that, like you say, it was kind of realistic and plausible, and a lot of people thought it was fucking real. I mean, that's pretty decent considering it was done on a shoestring budget and ended up making a fuckload of money as a result. So, but then the problem with that is then they go on and make fucking 6 or 7 more. And
as they all have exactly the same premise, the same bullshit thing has happened.
But they just add more shit to it.
Like when they did the past one in the 80s, and it's the jump scare.
Yeah, or like when it's on the. I mean, there's some clever things in that, like when everything goes up to the ceiling and then drops down. Like to film that kind of realistically was quite clever. But other than that, yeah, it was just as it went on, it was more going back to this coven and this fucking firstborn shit. So now you're just becoming like every other generic possession demon film.
Right. The problem with any franchise when it goes on too long is
it disappears up its own arse.
Exactly.
Well, they keep trying to add lore and reasons and stuff, and it just goes a bit like, no.
It's the mystique.
Yeah. Oh god. And this was the worst thing about it was like if the last one they introduced fucking time travel into it and parallel dimensions and shit, and it was like, oh my god, really?
I know. What did it become Fringe?
Yeah, basically. It was like, oh yeah, the reason why it managed to get, and then it became fucking human, and that was its whole like fucking aim was to get a human body. But it's like, well, hang on, but you're doing all this powerful shit without a human body, and now you have a human body. What's the point?
Yeah. What do you gain from having a human body?
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, you could go somewhere where that woman isn't walking around. I'm pretty sure if you could manipulate her through all your evil, awesome powers to go wherever you wanted her to go, and then just do from that.
Well, it was causing all this destruction and mayhem without it, and now it's kind of limiting in itself because now it's human and it's going to walk the earth. It's like, no, you've gone too far now. Yeah,
it's just a bit, just a touch silly.
Yeah,
it's like what was it? Five Nights at Freddy's, where the first game was just like, oh yeah, animatronics are going to come and eat you while you're trying to protect yourself in a little room, and now it's progressed to such a point where it's like, oh yeah, there's like computer viruses that got people's souls in them, which are now controlling machines in a great big pizzeria place, which is like a fucking amusement park and stuff. It's like,
oh yeah,
it's like no. It's like, look, come on, just give me a fun game and just give me you don't have to be super complicated. It doesn't matter. It's fine. When things just go on for too long, it becomes a bit too much.
It's like Saw as well, isn't it? That went on for far too fucking long.
But this is it. It's kind of like
someone gets a good idea, and then it's a case of let's try and milk it for all it's worth.
Yeah, and then we get to the point where like when the original creator of it doesn't even have anything to do with it by like the end of the franchise.
Yeah.
It becomes something else eventually.
Yeah.
Just trying to think. So I think that this brings us on to like a really interesting question. What saw trap would you guys create for each other? Knowing what you two know about each other, what saw trap would you create for each other?
Well, that'd be. I know exactly what you would make for me. It's quite easy. What do I really fucking hate around about summertime?
The bees.
Yeah.
The bees.
Yeah.
Not the bees.
It would be a fucking jar. It'd be like a jar of wasps, wouldn't it? And I'd have to like sit there and let it just happen. Or I'd have to like, I'd have to cut out my own eyes to get away from it.
The wicker man. Not the bees.
Yeah, no, not the bees. No.
So Sean's in a Wicker Man head thing with the bees about to be launched in, unless he can do what task would you need to do to prove? Harry, what task would he need to do to learn a lesson and escape?
I mean, I know what I'd do to Harry. I'd stick him in a room with Jodie Whittaker and lock the door.
Yeah, but
who knows what could happen?
Yeah.
he just talk to her, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
I'll come out and I'm a raging feminist.
Wearing
How it happened.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Just,
you're just not getting the message. Got to get the message.
I'll get the message when, I'll totally understand it as well.
Your t-shirt will say, "Ask me about my feminist agenda," and it'll be like, "Oh."
Check out my third wave.
Oops.
So Harry, you haven't said what's your plan for Sean. What would you do to trap him other than the what was it?
Let's gang up on Jack.
No. I've projected this onto you two. It's fine.
Haven't you? Yeah.
Well, like, what I'm trying to think of, because the whole thing is supposed to be like learning a life lesson, isn't it?
Well, yeah. But it's also like to do with like you have to, in order to survive it, you have to kind of mutilate yourself somehow to escape it.
As long as it's according to the life lesson you learn, then yes.
Like like one of the traps where there's the key to this like head smashing trap is like behind the fucking dude's eye, so he has to cut out his own eye to get the key. So it's shit like that. It's like you have to lose a part of yourself to survive. But the
thing is, the woman who's got the jaw snapper has to cut open another person who's still alive.
Yeah, but that was sort of again going to like the later films. It was almost like they
wasn't that for the original Saw. That was
almost rigged for her to do that. If that makes sense, like they were in on it together, kind of thing.
Yeah. So the original one, the whole big thing was you had two people in like a small room with a key in the middle of the room. Yeah. And the key, they had to cut their own foot off with like a saw.
Oh yeah, that was the doctor bloke. Yeah, but then they kept adding more shit onto that later on as well. Like he was kind of in on it as well, and he was like another like trap layer and shit. It's like
the original trap premise was cut your own foot off to get a key to escape.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, would you do it? And that's kind of the premise of at least that trap.
And also, doesn't one of them lose the key down the plug hole after coming out of the bath? And
yeah,
they could have
probably. I haven't seen.
It turns out Jigsaw's like on like the one who's he turns out he's like the dead bloke in the middle, and he was playing dead the whole time, and it ended up having it over there somewhere. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched that.
Sean, you trapped Harry in a room with Jodie Whittaker. What's the life lesson he needs to learn to escape and survive?
Oh God.
Do you want to go?
Watch Sharknado. Just watch Sharknado.
Learn how to treat women properly, asshole.
You must learn how to treat women properly. You can turn into a male feminist.
You must love everything that Chris Chibnall has put out without worrying. Okay.
Chris Chibnall's sitting there in the corner of the room on a small stool, just watching you the entire time.
And then in the background, you've got like playing out of speakers like on repeat. It could have been better. 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 Get me out of this fucking hellhole.
Yeah, it starts in one screen and then spreads to another and then another.
It could have been.
You're in a cinema, it's on a great big projector, but every seat around you has a TV facing you playing the same thing.
Yeah. Now acknowledge me. Acknowledge that I'm canon. Fuck.
Recognize.
Yeah. Was it Roman Reigns says now these days? Acknowledge me.
It goes to show my mentality, because the first thing you said when you said acknowledge me wasn't anything to do with that. It's just the giant Bender statue from Futurama going belching fire into the space. Remember me.
Oh, is it because it's the statue, like, because he's dead, isn't it? And it's the monument.
He said he wants to be remembered because he's faked himself being Pharaoh. It's like he's got a giant statue with a casino in the foot or something like that. It's just like it's just so stupid. I love it.
I'm shocked. Well, not that shocked.
That's where my brain goes. My brain goes to Futurama. Futurama saves my brain.
Coming back now soon as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So season 8 now or something like that.
Yeah, and originally they weren't going to have the original actor who plays Bender in it, and then now they are having the original actor who plays Bender in it. I can't remember. There was some controversy over it.
I think
he said something in the past about something. Is he? What?
Probably. I don't know.
I think the only thing I heard is he's got a weird contract with like Netflix or something, which is an issue, but it's like not that big an issue. There's just more effort than it's worth to bring him back. But because so many people have made us think about it, he can come back, or at least they're gonna go through that effort. It's like an extra form they have to fill out or something stupid like that. I can't remember. It's like
you can't have Futurama without Bender.
No,
simple as that.
You can't have Futurama without that entire cast of characters voiced by those people, because it's
John DiMaggio. That was his name. Yeah, I almost forgot. Yeah.
What did he do?
So let's see. Shall I share my screen just so you guys can read this? Hang on, let's see if it works.
It's all going to be Karen Page from Daredevil topless, isn't it? That's what you're going to share your screen to us with.
You beat me to it, you bastard.
That's just a pure guess. I have no idea what you've actually got on your screen.
Can you show it? Can you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, Bender voice actor. Yeah,
he wanted more money. Okay, fair
after
enough.
stating he felt he and the cast deserve higher pay. Right. Okay, so it was a pay dispute then, essentially.
Okay, fair enough. No, that's fair enough. Oh, is that what he looks like?
Yeah, man.
Oh, you should
Kind
never
of
see.
looks like.
See your heroes.
Should never see heroes.
Yeah, it's always disappointing, isn't it?
That said, he does look like human Bender from that one episode of Futurama where he gets human body.
Oh yeah, that makes sense then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Still
there we go.
Still disappointing.
Lottie. Oh, sorry. Yeah, what?
Don't judge the actor, judge the acting.
Wow.
Separate.
That's very profound, Jack.
How insightful, Jack Chibnall.
Yeah, look, I'm like 9 beers deep. It's fine.
Hey, I'm completely sober tonight. I'm on the squash because I drank all the beer yesterday.
Ah, you fool.
Yeah, I know. Well, as I said, I completely forgot we were doing this tonight. Otherwise, I would have got more. But never mind.
Don't worry, I finished my last one anyway. I can start looking at these again, but she'll kill me if I do.
That'll be it. Lights out.
Basically, yeah.
Anything else? What else have we talked about
I haven't got either of you back yet. All I've got is your normal little pictures. Harry in his helmet with the Nerdaholics thing.
Oh, weird.
You can't see me.
Mine's gone back to normal.
Yeah, my YouTube. I can see YouTube fine.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter anyway. I can cope. I am a creator. I can deal with this setback. It's
I
fine.
can imagine your faces while saying,
Your beautiful faces.
I know exactly what you both look like, and it scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, why would you want to see that on a more regular basis anyway? You can't.
Because you're the only friends I have in this world.
And then you
you're
got Rob
sad.
saying, what about
Sad.
me? Fuck you.
It's sad.
What?
You guys are my only friends.
The ones that
Well-
count.
All I'll say is, if Robbie's going to complain and be like, "Oh, I'm not your friend as well," it's like, well, then if he was my friend, he'd be here on the chat, wouldn't he? He'd be here with
Oh, shots fired.
Take that, Rob.
And I can hear Rob going, but that doesn't make any sense. I've already told you I can do Sundays.
Oh,
Get the spotlight.
You're so fucking loud.